It's not raining.
It's not raining!
It's not raining. It's not raining. Okay, it's like lightly misting from the sky, which means the weather forecast is lying to us again. Anyways, we're still not gonna let that stop us from seeing the main attraction here in the city. This is the main event here in Hue, the Imperial Citadel, and what a spectacle it is. Now, Hue was actually the capital of Vietnam from the early 1800s to the mid-1950s, when the Nguyen dynasty was ruling over the land. Now, in the mid-1950s, the throne was actually abdicated and the capital was moved to Hanoi. And during the 1960s, when the War of Vietnam was raging and the Battle of Hue actually happened, it was one of the most bloody battles in the entire war. Apparently, the entire city of Hue was essentially flattened, including the citadel. So of the original 160 buildings that were here, only 10 original buildings still remain. In the 1990s, you'll be happy to know that this was dedicated as a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and restoration efforts were underway, which were completed in 2015.
I cannot get over how big these koi are. We just came through the entrance gates and there's this pathway that leads up to kind of the first sites here, and there's these massive koi here in the pond, and these birds watching on as if they might get some of the food themselves. But these koi are hungry. They're all just sitting there with their mouths wide open, ready for food.
Now, the Imperial Citadel here is the most expensive tourist attraction we've gone to since we got here in Vietnam. At 200,000 dong per person, it's not the most affordable attraction. And also, when you get here to the gates, you can pay an additional 100,000 dong to get an audio guide. However, we decided not to do that. It's also the most popular tourist attraction that we've been to. It is littered with tourists, and we're here during the coronavirus outbreak. So I imagine on a normal year, this place is even busier.
Behind us is the Hue Temple. This temple here was built in the 1880s and stood here during the French occupation that lasted till about the mid-1950s. This place stood the test of time until the mid-1950s, and then it was unfortunately destroyed during the Vietnam War. Inside, it is dedicated to the 7 emperors that were here during the French occupation under the Nguyen dynasty. It's a really stunning sight inside. Carved out of wood are the letters and beautiful ornate drawings that have been covered in red paint and detailed with gold. It is truly stunning. Unfortunately, like most of the great sites here in Vietnam, you can't take photography inside. So, once again, you'll just have to take our word for it. We've learned so far that there's a great deal of care and attention that go into the gates leading to the temples as much as there is in the temples. On these gates, which you can see behind me here, there are 4 sacred animals listed on it, 4 seasons, 4 symbols, 8 fairy artifacts, as well as many other things adorning it, always done in the 3 royal colors, yellow, red, and blue, and they are truly stunning. We can't imagine the time that it takes to build these out and to intricately carve every single piece.
Time for a midday snack. I am back on the taro popsicles. I absolutely loved this last time and I'm ready to try it again. Now, pro tip, bargaining in Vietnam has been a great saver of money for us. So when we came here, she quoted us 30,000 dong for each popsicle. And when we walked away, she asked how much we wanted to pay. I said we'll pay 20,000 each popsicle, and she agreed. So I'm a happy boy. I love the taro. I wish we had these back home.
Why don't we have these back home?
I don't know. Someone asked the grocers. These are delicious. I had a red bean one last night too. Also very good. Talk about finding some peace amongst the chaos and the tourists. This place is incredible.
It's nice to be away from all the big tourist groups. Many of them are visiting the bigger temples here and not so much the residences. This is the Grand Queen Mother's, that's a mouthful, or better known as the Longevity Palace, where many of the queens and the mothers of the queens lived during the dynasty here. I think I'd like to live here.
No kidding. The residence here is actually surrounded by a moat, and there's some bridges that lead over the moat, and there's these really old ancient looking trees. It's just, I can imagine this would be a very nice place to come and relax, spend some time, and take a deep breath away from the city on the other side of the river.
There are these gorgeous, I think they call them banyan trees, that cover the gardens that just offer such tranquility that I could see women enjoying for years, sipping on their tea. Inside these buildings host a lot of artifacts from the time of the emperor's dynasty. Inside there is a rickshaw that the Queen Mother used to take around. It's nice to know that not just the tourists take rickshaws around here. However, the one inside is a little bit nicer than some of the ones you can ride around here. We learned inside from one of the posters that's listed with some of the information that they had to buy it back from France after it was taken away for 10,000 euros, which is crazy when you think about how much things cost here. Feng Shui is definitely alive and well in these palaces. You can tell from the big, vast open rooms that they really appreciate its space and open conceptness. They are beautiful, and the furniture inside is so ornate and delicately built. Imagine being a dignified royal in your extravagant robes. Game of Thrones, baby.
Now this here is the Royal Theatre. It's where back in the day the emperor and his court would have come to take in different plays of sorts. On the wall here they have different masks displayed that would have again been used in those plays, and they're certainly a little different than what we would use today. Now, this theater still used every single day. There are 2 performances in the evening, and as you can see, the decor in this place certainly is fitting for royalty.
I probably shouldn't touch it, should I? Our last stop before heading out is the Royal Treasury. The Royal Treasury would have been used to store some of their jewels, but mainly their gold and silver, which probably would have been used as a currency in that time. In the early 1900s, they moved the Royal Treasury to a more European-style building in the heart of the city, rather than here in the Royal Palace. What an imperial day! We had a truly amazing time here checking out the Imperial City. It is incredibly epic, and the restoration efforts that they've made to bring it back to its original state are truly, truly beautiful.
We spent about 5 hours here. Now, we heard you could spend anywhere from 2 to 3 hours, like a half day or all the way up to a full day, and we
split the difference.
we really expanded on what we were told it should take, but that's okay. You know, there's a lot of great places to take some footage and get some pictures, so we really took our time with it. If you like the video, be sure to give us a thumbs up. If you want to see more travel content like this, hit the subscribe button, maybe even that little bell notification. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.
Bye.